Okay, we are back live with another Between the Pages book chat, and today our guest is romance author Dana Littlejohn, and she's here to discuss her series, The Four Queens. So I'm going to turn it over to her now and let her introduce herself. So take it away.
Hi, I'm Dana Littlejohn, and I write contemporary with some paranormal. I have a lot of paranormal romances, and um, I love paranormal, so mostly paranormal romances.
Yeah, well, I think our watchers like paranormal too. So give us a quick overview of the Four Queens series. What's it about?
Well, well, the Queens. This one is my first non-paranormal in a long time. The series is about four women. They have nothing in common. The queens are because of their profession. They match something about the queens in the deck of cards.
Oh, that's cool. So it has like a motif to the whole series then.
Yes. So the first book that'll be released is the Queen of Spades, and that's an acronym for Southern people against environmental degradation. So it spells out spades. The Queen of Diamonds is a heart doctor. No, the Queen of Diamonds is a diamond heiress. The Queen of Hearts is a heart doctor, and the Queen of Clubs owns a nightclub.
Oh, so yeah, so you tie the titles into the profession or the that's cool too.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the characters in the series.
Um, they're all pretty strong women that get thrown into their profession. It's not something that they had aspired to be. It just kind of happened, and and it shows how they find romance when all they have is work.
Okay, so are your settings urban or rural or a mix of both?
A mix of both.
Okay, so what about the Queen of Spades, which is the first book coming out? So what's the setting in that one?
It starts out in Indianapolis, where I am, although the character is from Atlanta. She's starting like a second location of the nonprofit that she's doing. So she moves to Indianapolis where her brother is so that she can have some type of family ties where she is to start this new thing for her. She lost her husband and she jumped on the opportunity to get a new perspective on life, a new business, new place, new everything.
Okay, so I'm assuming the romance in that one is sort of a second chance romance.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
The main character, the guy, his name is Hart, Mr. Hart. He owns a website developer. He left his main company to start up his own business, and he develops websites. That's how she meets him. Her brother does the same thing. So he hooked them up to get her website going for the startup that she's doing in Indy.
And I'm
But
assuming sparks start flying.
well, sparks do fly, but she is that person that believes there's only one true love for everybody. So she doesn't see the sparks. It can't be that because she's already had her true love.
Oh, so there's the conflict, is there?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. So, what were your inspirations for writing the series and going back to contemporary after paranormal?
I I had done a lot of folklore and paranormal for a little while and I just wanted to come back to the now because I was out there for a minute, in my own little paranormal universe. So I thought it was time maybe to touch back. My sister had said to me, "You don't never write nothing that happens at home." So I was like, "Oh, well, okay." So she wanted to see some city life, some city love going on.
Oh, that's cool. Um, so, What was the hardest scene or type of scene for you to write in the series so far?
In the series,
Yeah, well, or in any book, any of the books that you've written.
oh, the love scenes are definitely the hardest for me. It's hard to make them different. You to keep me for one out of it totally, and then to make their interaction different every single time with different characters, because I'm hoping that people who are interested in my books are reading several books. I don't want them to say, oh, Michael from the Dione Chronicles, he did it like that, or he did the same thing with this girl in that book. I don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want your sex scenes being repetitive, I'm assuming.
Oh my God. That's like my biggest fear. I'm like, oh no, I done got Michael and George mixed up. No, I don't want that.
Okay, so what is your favorite scene or type of scene that you've written?
I love the fight scenes, like the arguing and the banter that goes between couples, even when they're not couples yet. I love that banter between them, and I try really hard to make it realistic.
Okay, so do you have any secondary characters that are a little quirky or like to steal the scenes from the main characters?
In the Queen of Spades, definitely her brother. He was my favorite character, because he knew them both, and he was just like, ugh, for the love of Pete, what is wrong with you people? It's like right in your face, and you people don't see it. What's happening here?
Okay, so do you have a favorite character in the series?
Yeah, it would be Nick. It would be Nick. Nick Phelps. He's the one that they'll meet first in the Queen of Spades, and he's my favorite out of all four. He really is.
Well, tell us a little bit about him.
He's he's that doting big brother. He knows what his sister went through losing her husband, and he's still trying to remember that his little sister is grown. She doesn't need him hovering over her like that big brother. And it drives her nuts, which drives him nuts because he's like, I'm your brother. What do you want me to do? I can't turn it off, you know? So he just gets on her last nerve, trying to be the big brother that he used to be. And he's learning now that he he's not needed in that big brother role anymore.
Okay, so what would you consider the best trait about the main characters?
She's adaptable. She really is. She's gone through a lot, and she's willing to start over. But even though she's adaptable, she's still naive. She was with this one guy for so long, and they were high school sweethearts. So she has no experience. She's like this super bad diva in the work world, and this shy little girl when it comes to relationships.
Cool. A nice little dichotomy there of the characters. So what are your characters afraid of?
Davina is definitely scared to be alone. She's perfectly fine with her brother and her work. She thinks anyway, but she doesn't want to be alone. But she thinks she's got a good handle on it. But that is her biggest fear.
Okay, so what are the fears of some of the other characters?
Nick is afraid of spiders, and she teases him a lot because of it. And he becomes totally irrational. He's this big, giant, big brother, lovable, love his sister and family type. And then the minute that you mention spiders, he's like, okay, we ain't friends no more. That's it. I'm done with you. You know,
Yeah,
and
we had the insect fear on yesterday's show too, so that's fun.
she just like, don't make me get that spider out on you again. And he's like, what? What? Why are we going there? You didn't have to go there. I think it's time for us to stop talking.
Okay, so which character would you like to hang out with in real life?
Not Davina. She's not. She's too work and uptight. I would definitely hang out with the twins though. They're from my book Try Romance, Opal and Pearl Jeffersons. They're professional, but the minute they walk in the door from work, they switch gears and it's on. What are we doing? Let's do it. I'm ready to decompress from work and turn that page. Them I could hang out with.
Okay, so do any of your characters have any hobbies?
Yes. The twins, they like to crochet. They're terrible. They have like both of them are terrible at crocheting, but they keep going at it. They have boxes of uneven crochet scarves, lopsided hats, and now they're trying to do socks, and none of it is working. So they think that if they keep trying and try to make something different, it'll come out great. But it doesn't.
Well, having tried crochet, yeah, I can relate to that. I can knit okay, but my crochet skills suck. So
See, it's the opposite for me. My hands don't work together like that. I can't knit.
okay, so tell us a little bit about some of the other series that you've written.
I have a African goddess series coming out later this year. It's called Daughters of the Cosmos. It's about the African goddess of the sun and her sister, the goddess of the moon.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
it's called the Daughters of the Cosmos because their mother, the Queen of the Cosmos, Dunea, she has her hand in everything. You know, she finds them husbands that they don't want, but they have to have. And it's prophesized, but it's prophesized for the for the goddess of the sun, but her ego gets in the way. You know, she's like, why do I need anybody sitting by my side? I'm the goddess of the sun. What are you talking about? And the goddess of the moon bucks at her mom and says, I want to pick my own husband. Why do you get to choose him? And they both end up with gods from another part of Africa, the war god and the goddess and a human descendant of the goddess of the sun.
Oh, that's interesting. I love stories on mythology, though I don't know too much about African mythology. So that
I
sounds
have
like
one on mythology.
yeah.
That's what gave me the idea for the African series because I was like, there's got to be some more gods and goddesses out there.
Yeah, I mostly write in Celtic mythology myself, but I'm interested in
Ah,
all sorts. But I
my
noticed you did have one
mhm.
on Aphrodite.
Yes,
So
it's
tell us
called
about
Aphrodite Dale,
so tell us about
and
that one.
it's about her children, the Erotus, Eros, and Himeros. They're the god of love and desire. Aphrodite wants to take a day off, so when she goes to Zeus to ask him for a day off, he was going to give it to her, but Hera stepped in and said, what's going to happen if she just leaves? Your precious earth will fall to pieces. You need to put somebody in there in her place. So he gives the god of love, Eros, a task to do to see if he can handle the role of Aphrodite while she's on vacation. And then when he's done with his task, he gives Himeros a task to do because the two of them together make up the goddess of love's powers, but not separate.
Oh, that's cool. So you write romance, obviously, but have you ever just thought about writing in another genre?
I did. I have a detective story that's on my to-do list, but he's not talking to me right now.
Yeah, I know the
You
feeling.
know, the characters talk to me and let me know when they want their story told. And every time I look at my notes for it, he has not spoken to me yet. So I can't just, write anything. He has to tell me his story so that I can put it on paper.
Yeah, that they can be annoying like that sometimes. Okay, so I
Yeah.
think I think we'll wrap it up here, and I'll let you tell everybody where they can find you and your books.
Okay. All my books are available on my website, um, from Amazon links or direct downloads. And my website is danalittlejohn.com. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and on Instagram, with Little John being Liljohn, Dana.
Okay, and you can find a link to her website in the description of this chat. So if you want to check out her books, they do look very good. And I'd like to thank you for being here. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you for having me.
And Between the Pages book chat, we'll be back next weekend with two more authors. So join us then. So that's all for now. Bye.
Bye.